It was a wild weekend for President Trump on Twitter, tweeting about 50 times in the course of just a few days, including about both General Motors and Google. Let's go to Eamon Javers outside of the White House for those details. Eamon, what day is it? We got a long way, don't we?
It's only Monday, Joe, but it's Monday afternoon, so you're getting there, right?
Yeah, we are.
It's good to see you working this side of the clock, Joe.
Thanks, Eamon. It looks bright. Looks bright down there where you are.
It's gorgeous here. We've got daylight savings time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. This is the actual White House here. It's the real deal. So look, let's talk about these tweets, right? Because the president was on this spree of tweeting. It was about 50 tweets over the weekend. Some of them were retweets, so depending on how you count, that's tweets and retweets, a total of 50. It's just an enormous number, even for this president who likes Twitter a lot. A couple of his targets for criticism were corporate executives, and those corporate executives were forced to respond. General Motors and Google, two companies that issued responses to the president. Here's the president's tweet about General Motors over the weekend. Very critical. He said he spoke to Mary Barra. He wants them to reopen a particular plant in Ohio. He says he wants the General Motors and the UAW, United Auto Workers, to begin talks now. He doesn't want them to wait until the fall. GM putting out a statement of their own saying that any resolution of the situation is going to be done between GM and UAW in the due course. And then also we see this tweet about Google, the president tweeting out, Google is helping China and their military, but not the U.S. Terrible. Google putting out for its part a reaction to that, suggesting that they are not, in fact, working with the Chinese military. And when you talk to aides here at the White House about these tweets today, you don't get a lot of sort of backing up of the president's statements. I asked aides for whatever evidence the president has that Google is working with the Chinese military, and they simply said they couldn't provide it. I spoke to Sarah Sanders about that within the hour, and she said she didn't have it. And aides here don't seem like they're going to be going to a lot of effort to get that. They sort of say the tweets stand for themselves and they're moving on. So an interesting tactic by this president. It's not something that traditionally Republicans have embraced, is the idea of a president telling companies how to run their businesses. But this is a president who wants what he wants, an aide told me. And when he wants them to reopen a plant, he's going to tell them directly. And that's this president's style, Joe.
Yep, you're right, Eamon. Thank you. We're going to get some comments from Did you start on your brackets yet, Javers?
No. But Colgate is playing this year.
I saw that.
Great.
They're excited.
First time since '96, so I got to get totally up to speed on March Madness.
How do I take Duke?
Apparently March Madness is a big deal. Colgate fans don't know that because we haven't been there for a while.
How do I take Duke knowing it would make Harwood happy? I can't do it. I don't think I got to pick.
You got to go with your heart or with your brain?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks, Amy.
Colgate.
So Grasso.
So if you have to look at this president,
what do you make of this?
This president is about low regulation, low taxes, competitive business environments. So this is why he got elected, though, because this is the unpredictable nature of Donald Trump, where he throws out these tweet bombs, where it sounds like a Democrat president. It sounds like a liberal, but people don't know what to make of that. And this is what brought Middle America in, because they wanted somebody who was strong labor. So I think this works in the end for him. I'm not a fan of it. But if you look at it as the stocks, General Motors and Google both up 13% year to date. It looks like GM is basically rolling over. Google is one of these names that is always going to have a headwind, whether it's a political, a privacy issue, or whatnot. But I think that ultimately Google is a long-term play, and you're probably safe there, minus a lot of these tweet bombs.
So big tech is under attack at this point in time. We've talked about it on multiple different levels. So if you're investing in this area, one, have to have a thesis on that, whether or not it's going to impact the stock and the company in the long run, or you can try to isolate that and say, what of the tech companies out there, particularly the social media companies, are the least likely to get criticized by the president? Twitter. He uses it 50 times over the weekend. That's probably the last stock he's going to tweet about. And you know what? It's doing exactly what Facebook is doing. It's a messaging system, consolidating here. That's the way I play it.
Or you ask yourself, to what extent do these tweets even matter for the underlying fundamentals of the company after the reality kind of settles out of the way? GM, if you think about what's going on here, it's a company that recently reported. It's now trading sub 6 times earnings, pays you a nice dividend. They have an enormous exposure, in my view, to autonomous and EV. This partnership with Amazon and Rivian now is actually, these are drivers to get the multiple higher. But more importantly, it's a good balance sheet. And I understand the pressure. And I understand the pressure in terms as it relates to the labor market and some of the political issues that the president is going after. But that has not affected. GM is not trading where it is because of pressure from the president. It's trading because people believe that the auto industry is not only gone through peak auto, but that these guys are under pressure for any kind of growth.
In terms of Twitter, I mean, Twitter stepped on their own landmines themselves. I mean, there have been a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but I think Twitter is at a point now where they've changed the metrics. They've taken their medicine. I think that stock goes higher. But GM, with the president, without the president, listen, Mary Barra, I think, is doing what she thinks is in the best interest of GM, their employees, and their shareholders. So you have to let her make the decisions. With that said, this time in 2014, General Motors was a $37.50 stock. Today, it's a $37.50 stock, in a stock market that's gone basically straight up. In an auto sales industry, it's probably been the best in the history of the United States. So if GM doesn't rally in that environment, when is it going to rally?
All right, guys, thanks. Get yelled at about the.
I didn't yell at you.
I got yelled at about the basketball. That's
By who?
It's a 1 hour show.
Oh, in your ear.
How long would it have to be to actually talk about that? Would it
3
have to-
hours to show you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can squeeze some
All right. I don't want to get yelled at.